drop a beat. Team speak.
Oh, hey! Welcome back to a brand new episode of Team Speak. My name is
His name is Coach Dawson
my name
Bailey.
my name is Coach Dawson Bailey, and this is Mr. Taylor.
It's good. You are a coach now, so you're not lying, Dawson.
That's true. Don't call me Coach. Anyway, how's your day so far?
It's going swimmingly. My glorious mane is about to be cut off, so it's rather unfortunate, but it is what it is.
That's true,
my friend. So, how's your day?
Oh, it's going. Week 3 of school. I'm finally realizing, those teacher Mondays and why it's in so much pain.
Oh, yeah, it's a load of fun. I saw you come in after your third graders, and you were like,
I was twitching.
One down.
It's like, okay, round 2, here we go. Okay.
So, it's good. Well, we're back in Hebrews again. Almost done with a chapter, so we're getting kind of excited about that, trying to figure out where we're going to go next. But why don't you go ahead and read the next verse for us, Dawson, and see who are the next group of heroes of the faith.
All right, you got it. So, we'll be in Hebrews 11, verse 23, ladies and gents. That is Hebrews 11, 23, and it says, "By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandments."
You know, when I read this, it was so easy at first. Truthfully, by almost being lazy in a way, I thought that the first time I read this, I remember when I did it for Sunday school, I thought, well, this has to do with Moses. But when I read it again, it's realized it has nothing really to do with Moses. It has everything to do with his parents. And it tells us here that by faith, his parents hid him for 3 months. And then they also put him in a basket. And why that's important is because this was the time when the Pharaoh had commanded that all young children, babies, be killed. And the reason for this was because he was afraid that the Jews were going to grow as a nation to be too big for Egypt to handle and eventually conquer Egypt. So he started to do, kind of almost the first signs of abortion, I guess you could say, in the Bible. They were getting rid of the young babies to help control the population, which is still actually something that's used today. China does the same thing. They actually do the same thing with babies to control the population. So that's what he tried to do in Egypt. But it says here, the interesting part about it is the parents saw something in Moses when he was just a child. He was a baby. I don't know about you, Dawson, but I haven't seen much in a baby that's 3 months old besides a lot of crying and needing attention.
Pretty much.
So the amount of faith I would really have to take is actually quite incredible, because that tells us that his parents looked at him and said, I know that God can do something in him. Wow. And this isn't the only example of a parent who dedicated their child to God's work, but this is one that they did it when he was very young, and this is eventually going to be Israel's leader out of Egypt. So they hid him, and I think the important part of this verse is actually the last verse, which says that they didn't fear the king's commandment, which is very interesting to me, because that tells us that they had the right mentality, and it's a mentality we need to have. The Bible, let me clarify, the Bible says that we're supposed to respect our dignitaries, our presidents, those who have the rule over us, our governors, our Supreme Court leader, justices. It includes our Senate. All those are included in this. But there comes a point when, if it comes down to choosing to obey the government or obey God, that's a decision that we have to make and choose easily. It shouldn't even be a doubt in our mind. We have to choose to obey God.
Yes.
It's a very powerful verse here about Moses' parents. They chose to obey God rather than to fear the Pharaoh.
When I think of other good examples of parents in the Bible who gave back their children to God, or in other words, raising them right and allowing them to serve the Lord. Another good example is in 1 Samuel, Hannah.
Yeah.
Samuel's mother.
Most definitely.
Yeah, she wasn't able to have any children, and the other wife of the guy who has a big name, and I have no clue how to pronounce it.
Yeah, and then the other wife was Penina, wasn't it? Because I always
I
think
think
I call
so.
her panini.
Yeah.
It's a pressed sandwich for those of you that don't know. I can relate my stuff to food.
Anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. Okay, that one I'm not gonna say her name. She had a lot of children,
Mm-hmm.
but Hannah did not have any children, and Hannah went to God one day, and she promised God that if God gives her a child, she will give the child right back, and that's exactly what she did.
Yeah, that one's actually very interesting because the Bible says that she was in so much grief and she was crying and praying that it almost looked as if she was drunk, and she got rebuked by Eli. He
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
"Hey, lady, you're drunk. You shouldn't be here
Yeah,
praying." And she's like, "I'm not. I'm just in deep grief."
yeah,
But yeah, it's an example of people having faith and deciding to trust God rather than to trust man, and that's where we need to be, especially in these times. I'm not going to put on a tin hat and talk conspiracies, but I'm going to tell you that I can see rapidly approaching a day when you're going to have to decide to choose God rather than to choose to obey those and rule over you. I'll give you an example. There was this past year, almost 2 years ago now, when COVID came out, there was a pastor in California that decided to keep his church open. And essentially, California just started fining him. And I mean thousands of dollars. It was not even an elected official. It was an appointed official by the governor. And they just started fining him and fining him and fining him. And he just stuck with it. He bore so much stress that he couldn't even preach on Sundays. He had other men fill in and preach for him. But he decided in that moment it was more important for him to obey God rather than to obey man. Wow. And that's what Moses' parents did here. So one day, we're talking to a bunch of young people, and listen, one day the day is going to come when you're going to have to decide, am I going to obey my government, the one that makes the laws, or am I going to obey God and take the risk of punishment from the government, whether that's jail time or whatever the case may be? There were certainly far more painful sacrifices that had to be made by Christians. I hope that one day that we could have the faith like Moses' parents to say that, you know what, I know we're supposed to do this, but I fear God. And when I fear God, looking at the Pharaoh, he ain't nothing. Right. The Pharaoh ain't nothing compared to God. So that's a great verse there.
Yes.
Hopefully, like I said, we can strive to have faith to stand in the face of adversity like Moses' parents did.
Yeah.
So great episode, Dawson. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we're hopefully going to change it up soon. We're getting towards the end, which I'm excited about. So tell us some stuff you would possibly like to talk about next. Give us some ideas that you would like to talk about. I did not forget. I was thinking about it this morning. Remember, we're going to do something for a young person. We'll do a drawing. But what I want to do before we do that is I want to actually do a somewhat of either a like goal or a subscriber goal. So I'm going to look and I'm going to research our YouTube, see where we're at, and I'm going to give you guys a little challenge so you can advertise it with your friends. And when we reach that goal, Dawson will be drawing you something. So thank you, Dawson, for your ministry. He will one day be a professional. He is the Stan Lee up and coming.
Oh.
So I hope you guys are excited about that. I am, because I'm going to win the drawing. I have it rigged already. So make sure you like down below, comment, subscribe. Like I said, remember, comment down below. Tell us something that you would like for us to discuss. Give us a subject that you would like for us to talk about. But as for Dawson, I'm Coach Taylor, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
We'll see
We're
ya.
out.